one of the few writers on the bill who had been a serving police officer as well. So perhaps that's the best place to start, if I may, is to hear about your police career and how it began.
Well, it wasn't much of a career. I was only in for a few years in the 80s, uniform and plain clothes. But I wasn't a 30-year man. I was nothing like that. But interestingly enough, the police was the reason I got interested in writing for the bill. I suppose a lot of people might say that, but I was in the job. The bill had started sort of 84, hadn't it? 84, 85.
Yeah.
I was in the job at the time, and I was still living at home. I wasn't even married then, a young beat bobby. And I came home. I was watching it with my mum and dad, and my dad, as you know, was already a screenwriter. I'd always had half an idea that would be something I'd like to do as well. I'd always been reasonably good at writing, but I hadn't, really taken it on as a serious discipline at that stage. I was watching the bill, and I sort of commented on how accurate it was to actual police work. They took great pains to get everything right, the shift patterns and radio procedure and all that kind of thing. And then something happened that was glaringly wrong. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of Uniform were working on a case that didn't involve CID, and it was something to do with gun running. And I said, well, come on, there's no way Uniform would be working on that. That would be in the hands of a specialist unit. And my dad said, well, look, if you think you can do it better, isn't it about time you had a go? And I thought, well, maybe this is the moment, but I didn't strike at that point. The iron wasn't that hot at that point. But a couple of years passed, and when I was starting to think that, the job was kind of not really what I wanted, and I was increasingly wishing I was writing for a living, I thought again about this, and I started doing unsolicited spec scripts, sending them off to the bill, which were all ignored. Spec scripts for ongoing TV shows like soaps were a thing then, but they're not now, but they were a thing then. But I think obviously I was way off. So I then went away and I wrote a screenplay called Knockoff Job, which was about a murder inside a police station, and everyone on the shift was a suspect.
Wow.
And it was a complete, came from nowhere. It didn't have any Bill characters in it. It was actually set in Manchester where I'd worked. I sent that to the Bill, and this time I got a response. They said, do you want to come in and have a chat? And I as soon as I walked in, I was sat in front of one of the script editors, and he straight away said, do you want to write for the Bill? And I said, well, yeah, that's the whole purpose. He actually went a step further in that he was branching out on his own, and he optioned Knockoff Job. That never got made. A long time ago now. But I did start to submit scripts to I did start talking to the script department. I very quickly realised that they were more interested in the fact that I was a serving copper than the fact that I was a writer. I wanted to be a writer. I could write, but not to the standard they were looking for. However, the Bill in the late 80s, early 90s had what I consider one of the best script departments in television. There were some seriously experienced script editors. People who'd written 100, 200 episodes of Grange Hill and this kind of thing, who were sort of accomplished TV writers themselves.